Franklin. Let's give it.
How y'all doing tonight? I gotta adjust this microphone for short people, so give me a second here. Good evening, guests, faculty and staff, friends, family members, and most importantly, my fellow graduates. The first thing I want to say is, I do not belong here. Let me repeat that. I don't belong here. Those are the words that were going through my head when I first started class here at FCC in March 2013. You see, I had this whole life thing figured out. And so did she, obviously. I had already done 20 years in the military and retired. I've been working as a private investigator. Thank you. Thank you. I've been working as a private investigator for 3 years and counting. Life wasn't perfect, but it was pretty much on cruise control. Until one day the company went under and I found myself laid off with a wife and 6 kids. 2 weeks later, I was sitting in room 400 with a book in front of me that was titled Intro to Information Technology. And I sat among a motley crew of young and old students thinking to myself, I already have a degree. What am I doing here? Do I belong here? Is this where I'm really supposed to be? During my time here at FCC, I discovered one answer that covered all those questions. And sometimes life may not take you where you want to go, but it will always put you where you need to be. And courtesy of my decision to return to college as a full-time student at the age of 41, the next 18 months I spent here were some of the most pride-swallowing and humbling experiences of my life. But it was where I needed to be, and it was definitely a struggle. I remember the day I was sitting in class and I got a text from my wife telling me that the electricity had been shut off again. I remember the morning I walked out of the house and realized that the bank wasn't joking when they said they were going to repossess our car, because it most definitely was not in the driveway when I went to go get in it that morning. I remember having to wait for the payment to hit that card, and some of y'all know the card I'm talking about, on the 10th of every month, just so we could put food in the house. Yep, life was doing a pretty good job of kicking me around however it pleased. But during that time, 2 words kept resonating in my head. Keep fighting. Keep fighting. Repeat after me. Keep fighting. Keep fighting. And the more time I spent at FCC, the more I noticed that I wasn't the only one fighting this battle against life. I noticed that many of us got up at the crack of dawn to catch a bus and ride all the way across town for hours just to make it here to class as it started. Then had to leave class early to go stand in the rain at the bus stop and make that same trip home. Many of us left school only to work long into the night, not able to do your homework until early in the morning. I remember finding out that one of our classmates, a single mom of 2 kids, was sleeping in her car at night because she had no home to go to. Or discovering that a teacher was coming to FCC every day not knowing if she would get the double lung transplant that would prolong her life. Or talking to a maintenance man and finding out he had to leave his war-torn country and his job as an air traffic controller in order to ensure that he, as well as his wife and kids, were not killed. But all of you epitomize the expression to keep fighting, to never back down and never bow down to anything that life is going to throw at you or try and shove down your throat. Some days you have to pull up those bootstrings or take off those earrings and say, let's go. All of these people kept fighting, every single one of them. That teacher, she got the lung transplant, continues to teach here at FCC, and being the rebel that she is, she occasionally defies what the doctor tells her she can't do post-lung transplant. That maintenance man, he came to this country with nothing, put everything into his family, and raised some amazing and successful kids, one of whom went on to become one of the top-ranked men's tennis players in the world. That single mom, she went from living out of that car to a homeless shelter to getting a job right around the corner from FCC and getting her kids back as well. She graduated last year, and I can still remember seeing the tears of joy in her eyes and running down her face. Because you see, for her, this wasn't just a class. This wasn't a game. This was her life. And she won. She won that fight. And as for those students at the bus stop, well, most of you are sitting in here today about to walk across this stage. So tonight, we celebrate because we won. Feels good, doesn't it? The drinks are on me, and little does my wife know that the party is at my house tonight. So I hope you're prepared. Yeah. Or as Dave Chappelle would say, it's a celebration. So, we won this round of the fight, so trust me, enjoy it, revel in it, bask in the glory of victory, but trust and believe that tomorrow this fight won't get any easier. As you walk out of here today, particularly if you don't already have a job, remember, there are going to be a long line of people who will stand in their way of success. Some of them friends and family, and all of them haters. Don't be one of those people. Don't let yourself stand in your own way. Don't let your excuses and self-doubt stop you from reaching your potential. If life takes a swing at you, what must you do? Keep fighting. You gotta fight. You gotta fight for your friends and your family who supported you. You have to fight for those who can't fight that battle. But most of all, you have to fight for yourself and for your future. The moment you stop fighting, you lose. And I don't know about you, but I don't see a room of losers in here. I see a room full of warriors who have spent the last so many months finding their way and fighting the fight of their lives. So my fellow warriors, here's the strategy. Monday morning, we're gonna hit those streets with a fire and determination unseen from any previous class here at FCC, with the mindset that we shall not be denied the future that we so rightfully deserve. You're worthy of your dreams, so don't ever let anybody or anything stand in your way of achieving them. You must believe that you are destined for greatness. Don't ever settle for mediocrity from you or anyone else around you. You have to believe that in your head and in your heart. There's going to be days when life seems to be doing everything it can to hold you down, but you got to keep your head to the sky, say a little prayer so you don't choke someone out, and always, always, no matter what, keep fighting. Thank you.
Mr. Franklin, on behalf of the faculty, staff, and all the directors of Florida Career College, we want to thank you, give our most sincere thanks for joining us today and being our distinguished speaker.